Hey everyone, it's nearly the holiday season, and this is a big update that I've got for you. And please stay tuned till the end because I've got a big transition announcement to share with you. So many good things have been happening in my ministry with LARK, and that's where I want to start. I have been on phone call after phone call with folks who are thinking through faith questions. They're looking for encouragement in their faith. And there's a broken record, honestly, right now, and that is folks that they're trying to start conversations with us by saying this at the beginning, that there's no one else on the planet they feel safe to work through their questions with. And I'm not exaggerating. Most of our conversations are starting with that. Now, that's both sad and encouraging. It's sad because they feel so alone, but it's encouraging because they've found at least one person who they can trust. And what a privilege that is for me and for us at LARK to be able to do that. So, on top of that, we're nearing the end of a 9-week online conversation course where we've been walking a group of people through the parables of Jesus. And this has been nothing short of eye-opening and utterly revealing for a lot of these folks. We had 70 people sign up for this. And so there's just an ongoing back and forth conversation. And we spend about 2 hours once a week going through one of Jesus' parables. Also, Russ and I, we got to travel to Atlanta in October, and we had an incredible weekend full of events, meetings with people, talking about good news, and just sitting down with people that listen to our podcast and read our blog and have read our book and have gotten on phone calls and Zoom calls and courses with us. This is such a special opportunity for us to hang out. It was a huge blast. It was extremely encouraging. It was fruitful. And it was full of laughter, tears, connections, and encouragement. So Russ and I last week, the second week of November, we also got to go to LA, do the same thing with some of our friends out there. We had a string of 4 events and seemingly endless conversations about good news. We got to sit down with a group of Hollywood screenwriters to unpack an overview of Jesus' parables. We also got to join a home that was packed with 20-somethings when we were exploring the parable of the prodigal son and working through that. And we were just encouraging hearts and people all over the place. We're definitely exhausted from that trip. Our voices are tired from so many long conversations, but our hearts are filled up. What an incredible gift and opportunity, and tons of connections coming out of that. Russ and I also wrote, produced, recorded, finished 3 LARK Vision videos. These just kind of help communicate why we do what we do as LARK and how we get there. It's really some of the bread and butter, if you will, of who LARK is. You can check those out. I actually linked them in the email that you received this video in. The kids, I want to tell you about our kids. They're doing great right now. Awesome, in fact. We just had their first round of parent-teacher conferences, and they are doing exceptionally well, in fact. They're also great influences on all of their classmates, and we're just so profoundly proud of our little crew. Jax is going to try basketball this winter, I believe, and Jaden is healing from a dislocated thumb while also trying to learn to play the cello, which is a challenge. Azera and Liv, they're turning out to be artists, not just singing all of the time, but coloring everywhere, and they're just sponges for learning right now. We're having a blast. We're always tired, but we're growing together as a family, and it's been really special for us. So here it is, time for the big announcement. I've got a transition at hand, and it's with a really conflicted, happy, sad feeling that I'm telling this to you. I start a new job on Monday, November 20th. Today is Friday when you receive this and when I record this. I've been searching for work to restabilize our family financially for many, many months, and nothing has turned into what we needed. I've worked really hard and tried to make networking happen and make connections, but it just wasn't until something came out of the blue of left field from a completely random connection. Random to me. I don't think it was divinely random. A random connection at Jax's baseball practice this summer. Within one conversation, this person asked me to apply for a position that he had open. 4 months later, I am now the managing director for the Iowa Agriculture Water Alliance. And that's nestled under the Iowa Soybean Association, which is, as you probably know, a huge association. It's a nonprofit where I'll be working. And we're working to make soil healthier and water cleaner, all as a part of the initiative to reduce the dead zone in the Gulf of Mexico. There's a huge area because of runoff in the Mississippi River Basin. There's a huge dead area out in the Gulf where nothing can grow because the things we need in the soil that are good for the soil are washing into the water. So it's a lose-lose, and the work we're doing is actually a win-win. I get to manage the team, and I'm really excited and super challenged by this opportunity, but it is going to help restabilize our family. It's the financial stability we've been praying for. It means also, though, that I'm going to really have to pull back on my work with LARK. And that's the really sad part. So I won't be working full-time for LARK, but I do intend to contribute some along the way, as much and as long as I can. I cannot give up that work completely. And here's what that means for you as our extremely faithful supporters and people who've invested in the mission of me that I have and the mission of LARK. I'd like to invite you to continue giving to LARK in a general way, because that will still help me be able to chime in and help and work for LARK from the outside in a way. I will still be able to receive some funding in that way. I'm by no means finished. I don't plan to quit, but I do have full-time income situated and full benefits. I'm going to keep writing and podcasting for LARK, provide oversight specifically, and even travel with the team when I can. And those things all require time and money that I hope you can help me with. The mission of LARK is honestly clearer than ever, sharper than ever, and our reach as well as our implementation of our strategy, this has grown immensely in the last year, especially as LARK has become its own nonprofit in the work of losing the denominational covering that we had. So it feels like a gut punch to all of us on the team for me to step off that team in this sort of official way, but I will by no means be any less of a contributor as a spirited helper in that ministry. So if you so discern, I would be elated for you to continue your gift. Just leave it as it is, and reach out to me with any questions you have about that. I'd love to provide any clarity that you might be looking for along the way. We've got really big plans for LARK for 2024, and with this announcement, we're really going to be seeking to spread the load out and find some more people to chime in. Many hands make light work. I pulled a big load, but I think that we can spread that out and get more people involved. So I'm going to continue to provide updates for you about LARK and about my work there. It'll be just more of a hobby and a side project than the full-time gig for me. So from the bottom of my heart, you guys, thank you so much for helping make the last 3 years of my focus on ministry with LARK a possibility. Good news is in fact spreading in a way it wasn't before. I truly believe that. And I really see and believe and have heard from many other well-discerning spiritual people that the spiritual landscape, especially in the US, but even globally, it is shifting right in front of our faces. And not because we did something. I think the Spirit is doing that work. Jesus is showing himself and revealing himself into the whole world. And people are more open to conversations about the grace of God in Jesus Christ than they have been in decades, possibly centuries. That means the Spirit's calling. The Spirit is calling and waking people up. So let's continue to pray and keep celebrating people into the freedom that they already have in Jesus Christ. This is what we're out to do and out to accomplish. I love you all. I tried to keep this short, so hit me back with any questions you have. I'd love to get on a phone call or texting or email, whatever works. Love you all. Peace.